And then we're gonna start the audio. Alrighty, Tales from the Deep, number 03.
Oh yeah, once again, my friends, we return. Master Shinlo, MNG, on the scene.
Yes, you know.
Hopefully everybody's living peacefully and graceful. But yeah. How are you doing, MNG?
I'm doing rather well. You know, I can't complain at the moment. You know, I'm grateful for all that, and you know, happy to be alive.
Oh yeah, right. Gotta always be happy to be alive, man.
Yeah, how you doing, Shinlo?
I'm doing great, wondrous. I just switched out my dragon in this new cage. She's living beautifully.
I can see it from here.
Yes. The people on the camera can't see it, but
no, it's beautiful. Believe.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Maybe we'll get you guys in on a little sneak peek one time. Stika wants in. Oh yeah.
Oh snap. So, Shinlo, who is Angelo Bryant, in your words?
Angelo Bryant.
Angelo Bryant. Who is that?
Angelo Bryant is the guy you don't see. The guy you don't see, the guy behind the curtain.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
The Wiz.
Yes, the wizard.
Oh shit.
It's like, I guess the best way I could describe myself would be saying that I'm just me, but that really wouldn't tell you anything about me.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, but I guess you could say I'm the type of person who likes to be a person and likes to understand people, you know. So like we've talked about already, I like to observe, you know. And a lot of times I don't talk the most, so I'll just like sit back.
Hey,
cool.
You know what your name means?
And just see it. Yeah, I know my name means. My name is
Angel.
Angel, the messenger of God.
Yeah.
My mom had to get in on that to throw me in.
Cracking eggs and knowledge over there.
Yeah. She had to remind me. Sometimes I forget. I have interesting history and background. I come from Denver, Colorado, as does my friend MNG.
Yeah.
Right over here on the side of me. And, you know, life wasn't always peaches and cream, cake and ice cream, you know. But, you know, it was always I feel like, did what it needed to, and, you know, on my part, to bring me to where I am today. Because now I'm living pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
And even looking back, I actually didn't have it so bad a lot of times, you know.
Yeah.
So that's nice, you know, to be able to have that perspective, to be able to, you know, grow from life.
Of course.
You know, and I have learned that, you know, life is really just about learning for the most part. So I love to learn. Something I used to hate as a kid, actually. I used to hate learning things that I didn't want to learn, at least I should say.
Yeah.
It's not that I hated learning exactly, but if I wasn't into it at the time, or it just wasn't where I was at, I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to be interested in this.
For sure.
I'm still kind of like that, but I've been working on breaking that barrier, you know, stepping outside of that. I guess I still haven't told you who I am. But you know something? There's nothing to say who I am. And that is what I've been coming to conclusion with, you know, because even behind all my thoughts of who I am, you know, or what I think I am, or what I like to say I am, there's more, you know, beyond that. That is where I come from, you know, which is who I am. So I really yeah, I'm Angelo, I'm Shenlo, but that's also why I have so many aliases, because there's always more. You know, and like with my cat, I actually always kind of like every other week or so, like 2 months or whenever it comes, I'll freaking give her a new name. She have a new name. She has like 30 names. You know, it just comes to me. You know, just like me, like I come up with a new like alias all the time. You know, just something that appeals to me that I like to call myself. For instance, like one thing is I call myself the time traveling alchemist.
Yeah.
You know, or at one point, before I was even Shenlo, I was Lo the lyrical prophet. You know, and that's still an alias I keep around. And I call myself the destroyer of the universe and the whole bunch of other things that just escaping my mind right now. But
Of course, man.
But you know, I like to see that as like my many different aspects that just unveil, you know, as I, you know, continue my journey, you know, because there's always more to yourself, you know, you're always growing, changing, and this is what, you know, I've amalgamated, you know, even like for my childhood, there's me from my childhood, you know, that I remember, and me from teenage years, or you know, there's all these different versions of me that are me, you know, that I keep that I can take into consideration as who I am, a part of me, and I feel like I've been able to learn, you know, something from each of them, you know, and I feel like we all can, you know, learn from the many aspects of ourselves. I was actually thinking about it the other day. I was like, man, I actually feel like we all are kind of schizophrenic in a way, you know, because we all have different, you know, parts of ourselves, you know, that we, you know, consciously or unconsciously, you know, go in and out of, you know, whether it's our angry self or depressed self, you know, maybe it's our past self, you know, we're stuck in the past or something, you know, and there's all these different parts of ourselves that most of the time we don't keep track of, you know, and that's how you can end up getting lost in yourself if you don't know where you're at in yourself, you know. So being able to identify each of these different parts of myself, I've learned where to see where I'm at, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I'm stuck in the past, you know, or if I'm right here, present, you know, with you.
No doubt. Yeah, man, it's, you know, yeah, it's wild. I definitely see your point about, like, you know, sort of being everybody being schizophrenic, because, like, you know, everybody, in a way, everybody acts different around certain people. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't act the same way you would around your grandmother that you would with your friends. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you know, that's a difference in personality and, like, vernacular and everything, you know? Like, there's certain things you just don't say. Like, I mean, granted, you know, there are people who are cool with their grandmothers and stuff like that, you know, obviously. But, you know, in general, that's just to make my point, you know, like, you know, it's just what it is sometimes. Like, you know, in work, you know, you wouldn't talk to your manager the same way you talk to one of your coworkers. You know, there's a difference.
Exactly.
There's a certain, you know, I guess in a way it is, I don't know if it's a societal standard, but it's just a standard, you know. There's certain ways you're just, you know, that, you know, obviously you wouldn't act that way because,
Other
you know,
situation.
yeah, you know, obviously if you're, you know, aware of the kind of situation like that, you wouldn't act that way, you know, and wouldn't, you know, you'd be aware of that. But, yeah, I definitely see that. And, you know, we definitely are an amalgamation of all of our experiences and, you know, things that happen to us. And, yeah, dude, we're ever changing, you know, like from, you know, every moment, you know, it's completely something different. You know, we're growing, we're adapting, we're improving, and yeah, I guess it's something I say in Wigging Out. You know, like it's
I know.
um,
Good song.
thank you. What is it? It's like, you know, I think I know who I am, but no. I'm always trying to progress, you know, but people like who I am. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? I mean, but you know, we're always changing. You know, so it's like,
Yeah, people just, you know, try to hold you into this idea of who they think you are, and
yeah,
it tends to hold you back.
yeah,
Yeah, that's something I've learned too, you know. And it talks about it actually in that book, you know, and it talks about
Which
this
book?
book. It's called The Four Insights.
Yeah.
Wisdom, Power, and Grace of the Earth Keepers.
yeah.
Fucking amazing book. One of the greatest books I've ever read. But yeah, it talks about like our projections, you know, on each other, and pretty much the images we hold of each other, you know, and the roles that we play in each other's lives. So, for instance, a lot of people will get stuck in holding a certain role for someone in their life, and they'll be like stuck in the past, and that person won't be able to. They'll have friction and problems because you'll be holding that person from trying to grow. So it happens a lot in family. So for instance, with parents, most of the time, the parent will hold this, or the kid, you know, the child too. They'll hold the image of their parent as they are, you know, as they're growing up, you know, pretty much. So they say it's the child growing up, and the parent's always their parent, so they always expect their parent to do stuff for them, you know, or this and that, you know, so they stay stuck in that that image or in that role of being the child, you know, and not being their own adult, you know, and they hold their parents that position, and they always get mad at their parent because they don't do this and that for them, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
the expectation.
Yeah, exactly. It creates a conflict, you know, when you hold people to such projections, and you don't open your perspective to them being more than just that parent or who they are to you.
Mm.
You know.
And that's such a hard thing in general, you know what I mean? 'Cause I mean, you know what I mean? Like I've been mindful of that myself, you know. But even then, you know, it's, you know, like you get caught up in just, you know, just understanding and kind of the way you see the world,
Yeah.
and you know, and sometimes you want people to see it your way, but you know, it's just not the way it always is, you know. And that's the beauty of life.
Yeah, exactly. You know. Yeah, it's what's it called? There's a word for it.
It's a dichotomy.
It's kind of like that, but it's like being able. It's like something that we all see from different positions, but have different perspectives because we're all in different positions. We can't see it the same,
Hmm.
you know. But it's like a specific word.
Yeah.
Parallactic.
Interesting. Very
Yeah.
well. Yeah, man. You know, it's perception is wild. You know.
Yeah, it's everything's perception, you know,
Yeah.
and it's freaking crazy.
It's the lens you see it all.
Yeah, you know,
It's shaped by everything.
really shapes everything, you know, your reality, your perception, your beliefs,
Yeah.
you know, and like people who are really stuck in their beliefs won't see anything outside of that, you know, they even have, it's like cognitive dissonance or something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, you know, like you sort of just create like that loop. You know,
Yeah.
like when you don't want to see anything different, you try to, you know, go to the places where you find the same, and you keep that going, and keep doing that, and it creates the cycle.
That's all you see.
It's an echo chamber, and I mean, you know, it's just there's, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe there's a place for it, but I don't know. I just don't see a place for it. You know, I mean, we really should be getting out there. And,
Well, in a sense, I believe there is a place for it because it talks about in the book, in one of these books I read, Conversation with God.
Yeah.
It talks about creation, and in particular, creation it needs limitations. So that's what beliefs and stuff like that, they will give limitations to creation, and that's what helps structure it. You know, so if we didn't have any system of belief, you know,
No doubt.
they're probably like reality probably wouldn't even have any structure.
Yeah, you know, I see what you're saying. You know, maybe I take that back. You know, because I mean, you know, yeah, you know, if there wasn't those kind of things, then, you know, like if there weren't like, you know, scientists, you know, who all were going towards the same thing, believing in the scientific method, you know, if there was that echo chamber, you know, where would we be? We'd be fucking cavemen, you know.
Yeah,
be
exactly.
where we're at. So I mean, yeah, no doubt, there's definitely a place for it. But I mean, it's just how you go about it, I guess. But like, in my opinion, you know, I've seen like the product of, you know, echo chambers were, you know, when I was in high school, you know, and there'd be other students I'd be talking with who were, you know, no offense to them or their religion or anything, you know, they'd be just, you know, they came up with their religion and their beliefs kind of, in my opinion, you know, made them sort of, you know, inexperienced, you know, into things. And, you know, it's, yeah, not to rag on them, you know, or inexperienced in general, you know, because that's just what it is. You know, everybody starts at different points in life, you know, different understandings. And, you know, but it's just, it seemed like, you know, like, if, in my opinion, if there's a system that would limit, you know, your kind of understanding of the world, then that's not a good system to me. You know what I mean? That would just, you know, sort of block you off from understanding other things and trying to put it all together so it all makes sense.
Exactly, because even like the fact that like religion even rags on science, you know, and they rag on each other. Don't get me wrong, but you know, yeah. Still, you know, that doesn't need to be. You know, it could. We got to be able to break those barriers. You know, to be able to see the similarities, because a lot of it does kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, they coexist. You know, they're in the same world. You know, there should be. You know, there is a way that they work together. You know, people just don't want to look at it because they're so stuck in their ways.
Exactly. We'll learn.
Yeah, someday.
Yeah.
Hope a bit.
But Isaac, now you gotta tell me about you.
Oh.
We went off on a little down like a little rabbit hole into the mysteries of me.
We're back out the hole. Okay. So who is Isaac?
Yeah, who is Isaac Carlos?
Oh, Isaac Carlos. Shit. Oh, he is he who laughs manly, by definition. So, I mean, you know, I have peace and love, bro. That's what I like to say. You know what I mean? And that's what I exude, and that's what I am. You know, and you know, love with understanding. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just gonna turn anyone away. You know, because I understand life is varied. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's no need to rush to hate or, you know what I mean, just any sort of, you know, ill feelings towards people. You know what I mean? It is quick to be like that just because in the way we live now and, you know, road rage and, you know, like a lot of people don't feel the connection between other humans, so they feel, you know, that there's no need to have that relationship. You know what I mean? But the way I view it, relationships are prime, bro. That's what life's. Somebody, I think it might have been Kanye was saying it on one of Joe Rogan's podcasts that, you know, like relationship is like life's currency. You know what I mean? Like, or something like that. But you know, like relationships are important. You know what I mean? They're, you know, in my opinion, they're one of the most important things on the planet. You know what I mean? Like the relationship you can have with somebody, the connection you can have with another human being, it's prime, bro. And yeah, I pride myself on just, you know, having connection with people. You know, trying to understand other people and know what their experience is in this life, and you know, try to expand my own experience by, you know, knowing how others go through it, and you know, see how people have gone about it, so I don't make the same mistakes that others have. You know, and, or maybe I do. You know, to experience it myself, to see what other people are talking about. You know, but that's part of my love, and the peace. You know. I mean, it's what it is, man. You know, there shouldn't be no rush to violence, ever. You know, like, there's a million things we can do before you throw a fist, you know what I mean? It's just some people don't want to think about it, don't want to talk about it, don't want to put it to work. And I get that. You know, it's so much easier to, you know, get physical than it is to actually talk something out, you know, and get, you know, maybe even a little emotional. You know, a lot of people don't want to get emotional.
Yeah.
They can't be like that, you know, or they don't know how. Just the way it is. But yeah, you know what I mean? Some I read too, it's like, how'd it go? If, if you're peaceful and you can't defend yourself, then you're just harmless. You know what I mean? So that's not to say, you know what I mean, like, and going off of that, you know, that's not to say that I don't believe in defense. You know what I mean? I highly believe in, you know, I like fighting. You know what I mean? I like watching fighting. I like perfecting, you know, myself to make myself, you know, be more accurate with, you know, the way I move and the way I talk and, you know, things I do with my body. And like, you know, as part of that, you know, I can't perfect anything. I'm working on, you know, like, you know, just my fighting skills and my mental technique about how I, you know, approach things and how I maneuver things and just, you know, like, cause, you know, life's a chess game, really. You know, it's all about making the right moves at the right time and, you know, making sure that where you move is safe. You know what I mean? It's not, you're not moving into harm's way that would put you in jeopardy of, you know, just, you know, bullshit.
Yeah.
But, you know, because I'm very methodical, man. And I mean, you know, I think about a lot of different shit, you know, and try to, you know, get to the root of the thought, you know, and understand why would I think that, and, you know, what does thinking this prove? You know, what can I do with this, you know, knowledge that I've acquired from deeper thinking about this subject? And, you know, I've come up with a lot of realizations in my life. And I mean, some of them are just, you know, wild, you know, and blow my mind. And, you know, obviously a lot of them come through psychedelics and stuff, but I mean, obviously, you know, psychedelics don't give you all your realizations, you know, just by looking back and thinking about your history and things you've been through and actually, like, looking back on them, like, from an objective point of view from, like, now, you know what I mean, that when you're not in it, it's so much different, you know what I mean, like, because you think about things differently, and you think about the experience you've had since then, and it all plays into it, and it's just, you know, it's all a different lens, you know, that you view things through with time, and, yeah, man, I don't know, I went on a long-ass tangent, but,
No, that was great.
that's in a nutshell, that's kind of what Isaac Carlos is, you know,
Yeah,
the great
that's
powerful
fast
Isaac
to
Carlos.
service. I already know.
Tip of the iceberg.
There's a lot behind that veil.
But shit. What's up with that book over there? Looking very mysterious.
Well, I got this book. It's called The Way of Eternal Recurrence.
Okay.
It's like a poetry book.
What's up? Tight.
But it's pretty interesting. I always thought the title was interesting.
No
The Way
doubt.
of Eternal Recurrence.
Mm. The Tao Young Hui. Tuli. Way of eternal recurrence, huh?
What do you think eternal recurrence would mean? What do you think that is?
Well, so by definition, eternal, you know, is forever, and recurrence is to come back every once and again. So I mean, you know, eternally coming back once and again. But I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe in like, you know, like, I don't know, kind of going off what we were talking about maybe earlier, you know, maybe it's like putting yourself, the way I'm thinking about it, putting yourself in a way as to like, you know, you put yourself out there into the world as to where you'll be recurring in a way. Kind of like, I don't know, just an example, maybe like Genghis Khan, you know what I mean? Like he put himself out there in a way to where he's, you know, he's eternal. You know what I mean? In a way, you know?
We wrote about him.
Yeah, people don't talk about Genghis Khan.
We learn about Genghis Khan.
Bill and Ted, you know what I mean? And fucking everything. You know, he's a bunch of different shit. You know, and he's just, he was a conqueror back from, you know, different age. And now, you know, he's eternal recurrence. You know what I mean? Maybe it's something like that. You know, just where you get yourself out there enough to where, you know, you become eternal and you eternally reoccur. And
you remember.
Yeah, just eternally, just without, you know, just, yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. I was thinking of like just life in general, because it eternally comes back, you know, recycles itself.
Yeah.
And recurs. lives, dies, lives. Maybe it's just the way of life.
Hmm.
Eternal recurrence.
Yeah. The life is the eternal recurrence. No doubt. Definitely look at it.
Yeah, I have not even opened this book yet.
Face
But
face value.
yeah, it's tight though. It looks tight. My mom gave it to me. She always gives me these interesting books. She gave me this other one. It was another poetry book. It was called The Universal Mosaic.
Hmm.
That was tight.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really tight. Have you ever heard of like the 7 rays of spirit?
No? Can't say no.
So I do not remember all of them, but they're just like seven different rays that represent certain things. And I'm pretty sure they correspond to like angels and stuff like that. But it had a whole bunch of poems in there with each of their 7, the 7 rays. And it was like, pretty much just like insights almost on each of the rays, but through poetic terms, what I mean, so of going about it. And it was pretty tight. Really good poems. I actually posted some of them to like social media.
That's nice.
Yeah, and some of their wording, because I'm all about words too, and how it's said, And there's certain things that just stand out. So like in one of it, and one of the words it said was new. Like it would say new day, or like be the new you, or something like that. But it wouldn't write it as if N-E-W. It'd be K-N-E-W. You know what I'm saying? So like the new you, the part of you that knows. That's how I see it. And I don't know, like I like how my mom just brings me these random books and they come in just freaking, they're all like super deep. And she's like, what, I figured you'd like this. I'm like, okay. And then they have like some crazy insight. Ever since I read The Alchemist, bro, every book that I've read has had something for me. Like everything that's come across my path has just been like a journey, like as if I'm on this quest, to, I don't know where the fuck I'm going, bro, but I'm on this quest, to reach some destination. Maybe it's, I don't know, to freaking, I don't know what it is, but along my quest, I meet people, they give me stuff, and this stuff helps me along my journey. You know what I'm saying? And that's how these books have come along my journey. They've come along my journey and added more pieces to my puzzle, and I've been able to figure out my understanding of life, who I am, and like everything like that, along this journey. And now I'm at this point where I'm like, I don't know what's next, because it was like this quest of finding who I was at first, and now I know who I am, and I know what I'm capable of. But now it's just about, I guess, putting it into effect, and the rest is a mystery. I don't know what else is to come from here. Because pretty much, like for me, and in particular, I'd say I'm pretty damn successful. I got my own place and shit. I'm stable, bro. On my own, and that's, I feel like, success to me.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? And I don't need billions of dollars or nothing like that, bro. I just need to be stable and be able to feed myself and maybe help my family here and there. And that's success. I feel freaking like I accomplished it, because I can, where we come from, we come from the west side, and we was kind of struggling back in the day, you know. And now like me, you, everybody's starting, everybody's doing good, you know. We're all in a good position where we're healthy. Like Ronald, you know, our friend Ronald just got himself a house with
Yeah.
his
Shout out to
woman.
Ronald.
Yeah, much love, man.
Ronald
Congratulations.
Bryant.
Like that's a huge accomplishment, you know. And we've come a long way from this, you know. And like, I wonder what Ronald's thinking. He's like, man, it's crazy. I got my own house, you know.
Yeah.
And
Shit.
I know he knows what he's doing, you know. Obviously, it
I'm
shows.
sure he's happy.
Yeah, he's happy. He's like,
All his animals.
I seen that picture. I seen that picture of him and his lady. They look so happy, you know, right outside their house. Like that shit was tight.
Yeah.
I guess that's one of my next journeys, to go get me a house like that. But you know, I guess the rest of it's just upgrading. Most of it, you know, just trying to upgrade my life and myself, help people along the road if I can.
No doubt. It's never bad. You know, never hurts to help anybody else when you can. You know.
Exactly. Freaking month of October though, man. It's been kind of a wild month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty turbulent.
I don't know about, like, it hasn't been like crazy, but there's just been a lot going on. Like I guess I've just been kind of doing more, you know, in my own personal life. So it's been stretching me. I've been feeling it. You know, I've been one thing, and Nipsey Hussle says in one of these interviews, he says, like, you get in this. He was just trying to wrap his mind around everything that's going on, because as he's continuing his journey, there was like a lot, you know, that was happening. So he'd have to learn to wrap his mind around everything, you know, and it felt like it was stretching. And he's pretty much saying it's supposed to stretch you, you know, the experience, you know, that's how you know you're growing. You know, you're supposed to feel stretched. You know, you're supposed to feel like a lot. Like there's a lot happening because you're growing.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't feel that way, then you're not growing. You're stagnant. You know, and that's one thing I've been just trying to work, just stay focused on, just like growing. So I stay reading, keep my mind fresh, keep it going. You know, I've been working on my relations with people. Cause like I said, I've been a real freaking recluse. Cave dweller.
Hey man, never hurts sometimes to just get away, recoup.
Exactly, you know, and I felt like I just needed a long time to recoup because there was just a lot. But yeah, you know, outside of all that, we got Halloween this Saturday. You know, I'm lucky to be off work. And that's a beautiful blessing right there, myself.
That's nice. Yeah, I start my new schedule, so I start overnights that night.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I mean, I never really celebrate Halloween too much anyway, but, you know.
I'd say, I don't really celebrate it too much, but I'd say Halloween's probably one of my favorite holidays.
Yeah. Time to have fun with the homies.
Not even just that, you know, because like Halloween is the only holiday history that I agree with. You know, it's pretty much. So Halloween, at least in like way back, I don't know, in medieval times, whenever it was, I forget, you know, the exact periods, but like they would celebrate, you know, this holiday or whatever around this year, and they would put masks on, and so because this is a time where that they would say, you know, the veils are thinning, you know, between the spirit world and our world.
Yeah.
So they would put masks on to protect themselves from, you know, any harmful entities or, you know, spirits that might be out there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what the whole costume dressing thing came from. And there's a whole lot more to it, you know, I had the candy came into it and stuff, and I forget all that. But a lot of the other ones, I don't know the exact histories, but they're not very pretty, you know, and they're not very like something that I really agreed with.
Almost all the other ones religious too. Or
Yeah.
have some sort of religious significance to it, maybe.
Exactly. Halloween's the only one that's like a free holiday that's open to everybody. You know.
I feel that.
So I kind of like that. You know, I like how it's just for everyone. You know, like not everyone celebrates Christmas. You know, if you're Jewish or I don't even think Muslims. I don't even think Muslims celebrate Christmas. Right?
Why not? Oh, Christmas? No, I don't think so. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, it's wild. You know, it's like the variance of religion, the holidays they celebrate, and
Yeah, I know.
like others don't.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is interesting. You know, just the variety and like what's so popular, like how Christmas is just so popular in America. You know, I mean, like, you know, even if you're not like in a new religion, you know, people still know Christmas. You know, like.
Yeah. Right.
You know, it's just what it is. You know, it's just, you know, especially I guess like, you know, corporations have really, you know, made it so that's what it is. Like Walmart, you know, it's a big, you know, it's an event. You know, they start setting up for fucking, you know, Christmas in like August. You know, they start getting all the shit in, and it's just what it is. You know, it's a whole, you know, there's a lot of money to it, so I can definitely see why, you know, it's so big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, you know, aside from, you know, Santa Claus and all that, it's the day that Jesus was born, which, you know, obviously, probably wasn't the day he was born in real life, but, you know, people celebrate it as such, but I don't know.
Yeah, who really knows?
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I wasn't there. You know, unless we go back in time, we find a way to time travel, jump some timelines or something, man. We go check, see what's up with Jesus, baby Jesus.
Yeah, young baby Jesus. Rocking the crib.
Right? What was he in? He was in what was that thing that they
A manger?
he was Manger, yep.
Yeah. Manger.
Right.
The three wise men came to peep him out.
Yep, they blessed him.
Have you seen The Life of Brian? I love that.
I think I have seen it.
It's on Netflix, bro. You should check it out. It's great. I love it. Me and my mom were watching it all the time we were tripping.
How many seasons is it?
It's a movie. It's
Oh,
an old movie. Yeah, it's you know who Monty Python is?
Not really.
They're like this group of like British dudes from like I think like the 70s and such, and like yeah they're a comedy group and they made like movies and they started with like skits and stuff. They're kind of like Key and Peele and stuff, you know, skits and a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, and they did movies and they were pretty hilarious. I mean, I don't know, it's not everyone's flavor, but I mean it's pretty funny in my opinion.
Life of Brian?
Yeah, that one's about like Jesus and shit. Like so they think Brian's Jesus, and so yeah, it's wild. But it's hilarious as fuck. All their movies I like, you know, the ones I've seen. I haven't seen the last one that they made, but they got some good movies. I'd recommend them.
Alright, yeah, I'll check it out.
But yeah, man, religion, such an interesting thing. Such a serious thing, you know what I mean? People are, you know, I mean, it's a serious topic, you know, in some places. Like, you can die for, you know, speaking wrong on religions, which, I mean, you know, it's understandable, because, I mean, if that's, you know, your backbone of your whole, you know, life, your belief of what reality is, you know, if anybody's challenging that, I mean, I guess that is pretty, you know, that's a tough one.
I don't know. Yeah, I usually try to evade, you know, talking religion, you know, and stuff like that with people. Even politics. It's too much controversy.
No doubt, it can make things ugly. People can look at you ugly and stuff, and it's stupid, you know. Yeah.
Nice and true.
Hella true. Like a clown in the moon.
Like a clown on the moon, man.
Pennywise, bro, Pennywise.
I was thinking, I was like, is that Pennywise?
It's always Pennywise.
Hello, float. That's a classic.
This podcast gonna float right up.
Float into your minds, into your reality, your existence. We'll all float beyond that together.
Down
Tales from the deep. Yeah.
What a world.
Now we need a message from our sponsor, Stika Speaks.
Alright, maybe next time.
She's like, what are you doing?
To be determined. It's in progress.
So what is I guess what is your view on marijuana, my brother?
Oh, you mean cannabis sativa?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Are you talking about wild tobacco? Which one?
HTC, like my coworker said.
I was like HTC.
The HTC, bro.
Oh, shit. Well, as you can see here, you know, I have a liking towards it. I'm kind of biased.
I'm kind of biased.
But
I'm a marijuana advocate.
I'm definitely is it proponent? Yeah, I'm a proponent.
Yep, I got you.
But you know, I mean, I like this stuff. It's there's more to be said about it, but you know, I mean, I really don't see a problem with it in general.
Yeah, definitely. What about the psychedelics? The psychedelic movement seems to be really moving right now. Have you been seeing?
Hell yeah, bro. I'm glad that they decriminalized.
Yeah, now they're pushing to legalize it again.
I mean,
already. Might be a little early, but
yeah, I don't know about legalization because, I mean, I don't know. You know, part of the joy of it is having to go find the shit. But
you know, you'd still have to find it.
I mean,
but I would just think.
I mean,
it would just be less of a scare, cause I ain't gonna lie, cause when they legalize weed, you know, for instance, now you're not scared to smoke weed.
No doubt.
Smoke weed, you know, and be fine.
Yeah.
Not everyone's gonna be all tripping.
Yeah, a lot more people definitely be trying it. Which, see, that's what I'm saying. You know, like, it'd be more widely available. And, you know, you can just go to it. I'm saying if they legalized it like they did with weed, you know, as to where they put it in, you know, sort of their own dispensaries or, you know, what have you. You know, if it was like that, then it'd be different, you know, because, yeah, you know, a lot of people would just be getting that experience. And, like, I think we said it before, you know, it's not for everyone, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to figure that out yourself too, you know what I mean, with your own experiences. But, you know, I definitely feel like a lot more people who necessarily wouldn't, you know, be like that. Or like, you know, just like people who wouldn't even smoke, you know, just because they're here. Or, you know, the availability of it, you know, would lead to a lot more. Because, I mean, let's go back to when we got legalized, right? And, you know, obviously, admittedly, you know, there should have been a little more, you know, clarity on the, like, you know, proportions of an edible. You know, obviously that would have, you know, changed a lot of different things and people wouldn't have got hurt like it did. But, you know, like, you know, like I'm saying, when there's legalization like that, it leads to these kind of things. You know, people are, you know, they're new to it and they go and eat like a fucking whole edible. You know, their first THC ever and they fucking hallucinate like crazy.
And jump out the window.
Yeah, they kill themselves or kill someone else. It's a thing, you know, because, you know, people don't know. You know, they just don't know. And I mean, you know, you can't really, you know, in a way, like I said, you can't really blame, you know, THC for that. You gotta blame the availability of it. You know, the fact that it's just, you know, yeah, maybe there should have been more labeling. You know, people should have known the proper dosage and stuff like that, and maybe even should have talked about it more. You know, but I mean, in general too, you know, the way it came out so fast and just rolled out. You know, it's just, of course, things like that are gonna happen. You know, but it is tragic, no doubt.
So I'd say we could learn from the marijuana experience, you know, and maybe if, you know, for when it does get legalized, we do think of the preparation to it, you know, stuff like that. You know, we're talking about it more.
Yeah, we definitely.
Hey.
Definitely should have more conversations about such things, no doubt. Because that's the only way we can really figure things out with discussion.
Definitely.
You know, if you don't discuss it, then it's never going to figure it out.
Still going?
Yeah, no, we're still going. We're good. Just a minor interruption. The dog knocked over the camera from over there. And the ceiling's quite nice now.
Come here, baby.
Alright.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Definitely needs to be more conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
About that and other things, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, 45 minutes.
Yeah. Any last words, my brother?
Oh, peace and love. Let it spread until I'm dead and beyond.
Yeah, and everybody stay tuned for next week. We're gonna keep it coming for y'all every week.
Oh, hell yeah. Stay tuned. Go check out that Witty Written Wednesday. That dropped the other day. And then
just this morning.
well, it's gonna be the other day.
It's gonna be the other day.
So do that. And then check out that Freestyle Friday when that drops on Friday.
Oh yeah, we gotta check it all out.
Stay posted. We'll be on Tana's in this direction.
Oh yeah. Be live.
Always.
Till next time, y'all.